Hello and welcome to What's Next. I'm your host, Matt Brading. This week it's Music Week, and later on I'm talking to Jules Davies and Ben Burns of Blunderbuster. But before then, Jack and Harsha are here to talk about the latest music news.
First off this week, we're going to quickly recap last month's Brit Awards.
Coldplay were crowned Best British Group in the category voted for by listeners of BBC Radio 2, meaning they have won the Best Group more times than any other band.
Adele added 2 Brit Awards to the 6 she won last month at the Grammys.
Rihanna won Best International Female and Bruno Mars picked up Best International Male, having won the same award last year.
One Direction won Best Single with What Makes You Beautiful, and Ollie Murs picked up the Best Single as voted by listeners of Capital FM for his song My Heart Skips a Beat, featuring Rizzle Kicks.
And finally, Blur won the award for Outstanding Contribution to Music. They ended the show by playing a medley of their greatest hits. Critics say they stole the show with their performance.
Now let's move on to the 5 top albums of this week.
At number 5 is Plus, the debut studio album by English singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran. The album marks Sheeran's commercial breakthrough, having previously released 5 EPs independently. Plus was the 9th biggest selling album of 2011 in the UK and has since been certified triple platinum by the BPI for sales exceeding 900,000 copies. The album climbed back up to number 1 in the album charts on the 1st of January 2012, 15 weeks after it last peaked at the top, and has remained high in the charts ever since.
At number 4 is Home Again, the debut studio album by London-based singer and songwriter Michael Kay, which was released on March 12, 2012. It was produced by Paul Butler of the UK indie rock band The Bass in the Steam Rooms in his basement studios.
In at number 3 was Bruce Springsteen with his album Wrecking Ball. This is the American singer-songwriter's 17th studio album. His manager stated, "The lyrics tell you a story you can't hear anywhere else, and the music is the most innovative of recent years."
At number 2, Emily Sandé, our version of Events. She stated previously that the key to a good song is using honesty and raw emotion. She said that if she tries to write something which is too smart, the creative process will not work for her, and this is shown in her new single, Next to Me.
Finally, in at number 1 is the Military Wives. They have marched to the top of the album chart with their debut record, In My Dreams.
Their mentor, Gareth Malone, put the group together for the BBC Two series, The Choir. Malone formed a choir at 2 locations, in Devon and in Plymouth. He sought to enlist voices of an all-woman choir, the wives and girlfriends of military personnel.
And that's our top 5 albums for this week.
I'm now joined by Jules Davies and Ben Burns. Hi guys.
How's it going, dude?
So what albums are you looking forward to in the next few weeks?
I'm looking forward to Meshuggah Colossus. That's about it, really. I'm a bit boring.
I was looking forward to the Skints' new album, but it's out now, so nothing to look forward to.
What can you do?
Boring.
So why don't you tell us how Blunderbuster got started?
Basically, long and short of it is, summer of 2010, I got really bored at home, so I started coming around his house in Stafford because I wanted to get drunk. So came around here, and then when I was drunk, many times, we realised that we liked the same kind of style of music.
Yeah.
But more to the point of it was we liked kind of Irish folk kind of punk stuff. So it's kind of like Flogging Molly, drop kicks, Levelers, the Pogues and stuff, and we just kind of said to each other, why don't we, start a band like this? There's not any live music that's like this, so why not have a go, see what happens, that kind of thing. So we wrote Shambode for guitars. I was on, well, actually, no, I got acoustic and you got electric, obviously. and then we got a drummer and bass player, drummer and bass player, but we've got a different drummer and bass player now. And then we had the grueling task of finding miscellaneous instruments. Right. So kind of accordion, banjo, fiddle player, that kind of thing. So we started putting posters all around Stafford. So we put one in a couple of music songs for one in Jocks Brady's, pubs like that. Then eventually Howell replied, who's our fiddle player now, 59-year-old who used to be a lecturer here, who's retired. He can still kick butt, in other words, so he's pretty good. So at the moment we've got Sam Johnson on drums, Lars Shaw on bass, me on acoustic and vocals, him on electric and vocals, and Howell on fiddle. So we're just seeing how it goes, really,
Nice. Well, let's take a listen to a song that you recently recorded.
The lads that came into the house to push some kids around, they grabbed a girlie by the throat and knocked her to the ground. The cowards, the bastards, there's no guts to be found. So when we chucked him out the door, reached Shorey in the ground. The party died down, we're calling it a night. As I caught some local scallywags out the corner of my sight. Jim said, look at these jammy pricks, something's not quite right. When we came back
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that song?
Go for it, dude.
Well, basically, she's now our manager, but at the time I didn't know her. Her name's Danny Adams, and she was throwing this party at this tiny little flat above a tinier flat on Corporation Street in Stafford.
Yeah.
And we went there, and it was absolutely wild. It was like those house parties that you see in Skins that you don't think really exist, but apparently they do. And yeah, and there was just basically these like local knobheads showed up and starting on people, intimidating people and breaking stuff, and so a bunch of us basically chucked him out and had a bit of a scrap with him. Yeah. And then I woke up the next morning and thought, that's an awesome story, so I wrote a poem about it, and now it's a song.
Yeah. Okay, and what was the gig that we saw the footage of?
I think that was the Leicester gig, yeah.
What's it called? I Want to Be a Rock Star.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's a UK-wide battle of the bands that these guys are doing in Leicester at the Shed.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They've got bands from all over the UK.
I think for that show, we were the only ones that actually weren't from Leicester.
Yeah, we were the only band who weren't from Leicester.
So we just went there and kicked some butt.
Yeah, there was some seriously good bands there. I mean, normally when you go to a battle of the bands, you get, you always get really good bands, but you sometimes get like maybe the guys who've only been together a short while, or like the younger guys who aren't as polished. But that was like the toughest competition I've ever seen. Battle of the bands. They were like really, really sort of the wheat from the chaff there.
Definitely, yeah.
So what are your inspirations for your style of music?
Well, for me, I mean, I've always liked folk music, even though I've never really realised it, if you know what I mean. I've always loved fiddle and kind of like traditional Irish music. But then as I grew older, I started listening to Flogging Molly, Dropkicks, Levelers, Pogues, all that. But if I'm not listening to that, I listen to acoustic music, jazz, metal, rock, anything that I like, basically. Yeah, I don't know about you.
I think it's like, as a band, we're definitely a folk band at heart. But, we write folk songs to start off with, chords, lyrics, fiddle melodies, and then we just put as much like heavy metal and punk over the top of it, so that it becomes this sort of hybrid of folk and punk and metal, and that's kind of what we've got, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's an interesting result as well, having that sort of combination of styles. It's interesting and it's definitely different.
Oh, definitely. I mean, our fiddle player is 59, but he still acts like he's 20. Yeah. It's awesome.
He's still a rock star at heart.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So what are your plans for the future of the band?
We've got an EP coming out soon when we've finished it, which is self-produced, so it'll take as long as we need, which is nice.
Yeah, it's going really awesome. I think we've got 6 tracks on it.
5 songs.
Yeah.
We've got some awesome artwork as well. It's got this like pirate girl fighting a leviathan. Looks really cool.
It's wicked. I wanted a ginger.
So how are you finding self-producing the music?
It's a lot less intense and a lot more. It's a lot less formal, I think, which is kind of what we're more about, really, isn't it? We're not exactly a formal band.
Yeah, I mean, all those 5 guys pretty much know exactly what's going to happen, or what we want to sound it like. Make it sound like, sorry. So, if I said like, I want the bass turning down something or some kind of form of EQ, pretty much everyone would agree.
Yeah,
all of us have got like a pretty decent background in audio recording, or at least some sort of like media, digital media.
Right. Oh yeah, we've all been there.
So we all kind of know what we're doing.
Definitely.
Okay, I guess that's helpful then, that you don't need the studio techs to worry about it for you.
Plus we don't have to pay for it, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
exactly. Always a boon.
Oh yeah.
So how are you finding being a sort of unsigned band?
It's tough.
Hard, very hard. Yeah. Really hard.
I love electronica, I really do, but it's killing live music because. People only want to go out and listen to like dubstep and drum and bass and stuff like that, and there's a huge apathy about like unsigned live bands or just live bands in general. Yeah, it's really hard to. I mean, once you've paid for your petrol and all the other expenses, whatever, driver, and sometimes renting a van.
Oh yeah.
And you get there and you never make. It's always an investment, every gig, and you're just constantly bleeding money, aren't you, really?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, it's tough.
Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show, guys. Good luck for the future of your band.
Thank you very much.
That's all we have time for this week, and unfortunately, it's our last show of the series. Hopefully, we'll be back in September, but until then, you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter and our website. Before we go, I'd like to say a quick thanks to all our guests and presenters over the last few weeks, and of course, our awesome crew. Thanks, guys, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.